Hey everybody, Dominic back with a really exciting case study to share with you guys today. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how we implemented a super simple comparison chart on one of our ecom partners brands, and that single comparison chart has brought in an additional $200,000 a year in overall revenue. Now, this is something that we've repeated on numerous partner accounts, and it almost wins every single time. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to build your own, how to collect the proper data and make sure you launch the correct comparison chart. I'm going to show you guys the data behind this one, and we're going to walk through some of the psychology of kind of why this works so well. So if you're not familiar with me, my name is Dominic Mayu. I run an e-commerce agency called DM Corporations, where we help Shopify-based e-commerce store owners scale to hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars of profitable revenue every single year through something that we call revenue optimization, which is basically just a mix of conversion rate optimization, average order value optimization, and customer lifetime value optimization. So without further ado, let's get into this. So over the next 10 minutes, this is probably going to be a bit longer than 10 minutes, but I'm going to show you how adding a basic comparison chart increased our conversions by over 16%, how this 16% led to an almost $200,000 increase in additional revenue, how you can do it yourself in less than 2 hours. There's no fancy features, no complex coding, just pure psychology and proven conversion principles. So let's talk a little bit about the problem and the reality that most Shopify store owners make. So over the last 7 years that I've spent optimizing hundreds of e-commerce stores, I keep seeing the same costly mistake. So most store owners don't show the customer why their product is better than the competition. Sure, they talk a ton about why their product is great, but there's nothing specific in there that actually talks about what makes their product unique, what makes their product better than the competition. So think about it, right? E-commerce is huge now. So your customers are likely not just looking at your product. They are likely bouncing between your store and 5 other competitor tabs, trying to figure out why they should choose your brand over the others. They're manually comparing prices, features, and benefits across different websites. So we have to make sure that we show why ours is the best. Now, the solution is a comparison chart. Here's an example of one that we've coded on one of our brands. I'm going to explain exactly how we develop this chart here in a few minutes. But you'll see here on the left, these are all just UVPs that our product has that most of our competitors don't, right? So we're 100% natural with 0 fillers. That's rare. We're clinically dosed by veterinarians. That's rare. We're fully made in the USA with very strict standards. That's very rare. We're actually powder-based instead of chew-based. This is for a dog supplement, by the way, which is also rare and actually has its own unique benefits. And then we use a flavor that dogs love, which is also rare because a lot of supplements, dog supplements, the dogs don't like the flavor. So I'm going to explain how we found that, but let's talk a little bit about why these work so well. So a lot of store owners think that customers are afraid to buy. They're definitely not, okay? People are out to spend money. People want to spend money. People want to buy your product. But what they're afraid of is to choose the wrong brand, to choose the wrong product. So when somebody lands on your store, they're not only asking, should I buy this? They're asking, why should I buy this from you instead of your competitor, right? And if that answer is not crystal clear, they're going to leave. So it's not about having better products. It's about clearly showing why your product is the better choice. And that's what comparison charts do. Here's how we did it. So basically what we did is we started with a competitive analysis. So take notes on this piece. This is exactly how you guys should do this as well. So we placed our clients' products side by side with some of our top competitors, right? So we basically pulled open a few of our top competitors and just looked at what our products had that most of their products didn't. So you can do the same thing. Then we basically stripped out all the fancy jargon and focused on what actually matters to the customers. We used their language, not industry terms. This is key. So a little trick for this is to actually export your reviews, import those into a custom GPT. So we built a CRO trained wizard basically through GPT that you should be able to access for free. So head over to dmcorporations.com and then look under the free resources tab. There should be the CRO AI wizard. You can use that for free if you have GPT-4. So install that, export all your reviews and input them into that wizard and ask it for pattern languages, pattern words, things like that, and then use your actual customer's language in this chart. Guys, this is one of the easiest things to do just across your entire website. It's just using your customer language, not industry terms. It's using what actually matters to them. All right. Then we just, again, we highlighted our unique advantages with subtle visual cues. We are not manipulative, right? We're clear differentiation. We actually are pretty unique. We're not lying. We're not making these absurd claims. Sure, obviously, some of our competitors may be produced in the USA. Maybe some of our competitors are powder-based. But for the most part, ours were pretty unique compared to the competitors. Right. And then, we focused on those 5 key features: quality, not quantity. And then obviously we focused on the mobile design. The screenshot I showed you was desktop, but we definitely need to make sure that mobile is optimized, because that's where most of your customers are going to be shopping. All right. Here's a few examples. Like I said, comparison charts we implement pretty much across the board at this point. So I'm just going to share a few screenshotted examples. So this is the one for the dog supplement company. Here's one for a resistance band company that we work with. So this is actually them selling a barbell. Obviously, I'm blocking out product titles and brand names just for privacy for these guys. But you'll see on here, we're comparing this product to standard barbells and leading competitors. And these are just some things that we have that are very unique. We've tested it over 1 million reps, which is really cool. It's engineered for over 1,000 bands, right? Standard barbells do that. Our leading competitors definitely don't. Weighs under 2 pounds. Neither of those do that. It's compact design. Only these guys do that, right? So you can see we don't lie about any of this, but we do use our key components that our customers actually care about and go from there. Here's another one. This one's for Gtech Apparel, right? So again, we have the 12 plus hours of heat. This one you'll actually notice we are calling out our competitors directly. Now, be careful with this. I wouldn't advise doing this to start. Now, unless you guys are a very established brand, I would just use, the other examples that I have in here where it's like leading competitors, standard barbells. But you can do direct callouts if you want to. So there's that one. And then here's another one. This is for an apparel, like a streetwear brand, right? So we have leading competitors and generic sweatpants. This one, it's hard to really develop strong UVPs for apparel. So you'll notice this one is a little, maybe not quite as clean as the other ones, but still looks good and still performs well. Okay. So here's a quick implementation guide, right? Like I said, you should be able to do this in less than 2 hours. Starting with competitor research, go find your top competitors, list their key features, find their weaknesses, find what makes your product unique. I said 30 minutes. That can probably take 10 minutes. And then list your unique benefits, focus on real differences, pick the top 5, I'd say 4 to 7 points, write them out using your customer's language. Just write all this out in a Google Doc. Again, this can probably take 15 minutes. And then chart creation. So there's a couple of different ways that we can actually implement this chart. One is using simple HTML and CSS, which if you don't know how to code, you can actually just go to GPT and type in, hey, we need a comparison chart code in CSS. Here are the, 5 UVPs. Here are what I want you to compare it to. Here are my brand colors. Please use this font, etc. And then you can just go copy and paste that code directly into Shopify. Okay. Now what? Yep. Keep it honest and factual. Make it easily scannable. Place it as high up on the page as possible. That is important, right? If you place it at the bottom of the page, not many of your users are going to see it. Now, obviously, place it strategically. Like, don't just make it the first thing that loads on your product pages. Place it in a smart way, but try to keep it on the top half of your website if you can. And then something else with this chart creation too is either do it yourself or just hire a developer. There's so many developers out there. I have a team of expert Shopify developers that you can definitely take advantage of. So, if you're interested in leveraging my team, just reach out from on dmcorps.com. And then here's just a few common pitfalls to avoid. A is just don't bash your competitors, right? Stay professional, stay factual. Don't just make these outrageous claims. And then, don't make false claims. Build trust through honesty. you obviously, like, you can be creative, and you can be a little gimmicky, you can be a little, markety. That's not a word, but a little markety. But don't just make these crazy, outrageous claims that you can't actually, back up. So, and then don't hide your weaknesses. Focus on your strengths. Don't overwhelm with data, right? We don't want a comparison chart with like 30 elements. Nobody's going to read that. I would recommend 4 to 7 points. I would not have more than 7. I wouldn't really have less than 4. That's kind of the sweet spot. Typically I aim for about 5 or 6. So that way it'll be easily scannable. And then, like I said, don't place it too far down the page. Try to keep it on that top half if you can. And then just a quick thing here as well. So yeah, like I said, custom coding through CSS and HTML. You can either use developers or GPT. Feel free to contact me to use my developers. Or what you can do, and this is actually, I forgot to mention this earlier, is just create this in Canva. Head over to Canva and create this comparison chart in Canva. Create one on desktop and one in mobile, and then you should be able to just add that image directly into your customized section on Shopify. So if you don't have access to developers, if you have no idea how CSS or HTML works, and you just need an easy solution, you should be able to go into Canva and make an image. Now, the hard part with Canva and doing it like that is not all themes are going to give you an option to do a desktop and a mobile version. Some themes will, some themes won't. Now, you'll definitely want a desktop and a mobile version, because what will look good on desktop will not look good on mobile, and vice versa. If you have to go in and do it, I'd recommend just using a mobile one, since that's where most of your traffic likely is. And it'll just be long on desktop. It'll be long and skinny, but it'll at least be readable. Whereas if you use a desktop one, which is wide, it's probably not even going to be eligible on mobile. So yeah, that's another option. Now, if you are an e-commerce store doing at least $10,000 a month, head over to dmcorporations.com today to schedule a call with me or get your free revenue optimization audit. If you go to my website and click on the free revenue optimization audit and put your email in your store, I will actually make a custom video walking through your website, giving you some tips. If you want to skip that step and look into potentially working together, just schedule a call with us, go through that questionnaire. We'd be happy to look at your store and see if we can help and help scale your brand, just like we've done with all these other ones. So yeah, guys, I hope this video helped. Comparison charts are really, really awesome, really easy to do, and pretty much work every single time. I think I've tested them probably 30 different times and maybe had them lose maybe twice or something like that. And honestly, we probably could have just done a better job at implementing them. And that's probably why they lost. So go ahead and do that. And again, if you're interested in working together, you want me to take a look and see if you think we can help, head to my website, schedule a call. I'd be happy to chat, and we'll go from there. So hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you with another video next week. Thanks.